The Democratic candidates delivered some explosive attacks last night, but were they accurate? NBCNews.com political reporter Jane Timm fact-checked the debate in real time. She is with me now. And Jane, Bernie Sanders took a whole lot of heat last night. He was grilled for praising Cuban dictator Fidel Castro in the past. Let's play how Sanders defended himself.
What I said is what Barack Obama said in terms of Cuba, that Cuba made progress on education.
He did not in any way suggest that there was anything positive about the Cuban government. He acknowledged that they did increase life expectancy, but he went on and condemned the dictatorship.
All right, is that a fair comparison to Obama there?
Joe Biden's a lot more on the mark here. So what Sanders said was that, look, they had this literacy program. You know, is that bad even if Fidel Castro did it? But what he's failing to acknowledge is that that literacy program was a vehicle of propaganda. When you send 250,000 teachers out into the countryside with texts of indoctrination and propaganda and ideological literature, it is not the same thing as educating the masses. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Obama, he talks about this in a much broader sense, where he's saying, you know what, take what works, ignore the labels. I went back through the original speech that he gave in Buenos Aires in March of 2016. And what he says is, ignore the labels of socialist, of capitalist, take what works, like, say, a literacy program that helped people learn how to read. Not the fact that Cuba's economy in the exact same place was not working. Barack Obama spoke broadly about condemning human rights violations in Cuba, and so it's taking things out of context a bit.
Jane, Joe Biden attacked Sanders' record on guns several times. I want to play some of that.
Why did you vote repeatedly to give gun manufacturers a pass?
Well, you know, Joe has voted for terrible trade agreements. I have cast thousands of votes, including bad votes. That was a bad vote.
150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability.
Biden right there.
Pretty sure it was 2005 the first time he voted for a shield law, but I'd have to go back and actually check the exact date. But yes, indeed, he did vote to give gun manufacturers legal freedom from legal liability from people who were killed by those guns. And, you know, Bernie Sanders has a checkered record on guns at best. And it's his liability on the left. This is Hillary Clinton's playbook from 2016, and Joe Biden's just digging in on the left. You see that he has moved farther to the left on guns. Bernie Sanders, in recent his 2 presidential bids, he's come out with a lot more liberal things. But when he lived in very low gun violence Vermont, he had a pretty more moderate position on guns. The NRA was much more okay with him.
Jane, this might be my favorite one because literally they were calling for you on the stage. Senator KLOBUCHAR and Biden actually asked for a fact check. They were having an argument over who wrote which gun control bills. Let's play that.
So I have long supported the assault weapon ban. I am the author of the bill to close the boyfriend loophole that says that domestic abusers can't go out and get an AK-47. That bill, along with... You didn't write that bill. I wrote that bill.
I wrote the bill, the Violence Against Women Act, that took
you did that
out of the hands of people who abused her.
We'll have a fact check look at this.
Let's have a fact check look at this. Who wrote the darn bill?
You rang? They both wrote the bill. It's 2 different bills. The Violence Against Women Act stops domestic abusers, people convicted of misdemeanor domestic abuse, from buying a gun. But not all relationships are covered. So not all things that we consider domestic abuse fall into that category. Like a boyfriend and girlfriend who don't live together might not fall into their category. So there is a boyfriend loophole, and there is a domestic abusers exemption in gun law. I mean, both of them wrote the bill, but they were kind of both right and kind of both wrong at the same time, which is sort of just how fact-checking works.
Jane, thanks for coming here and helping us get our bills straight. We always appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.